The Unfiltered by Jade.
Jade.
Welcome to the Unfiltered by Jade, where we get out of the box and dive into topics that are sidelined. I look forward to entertain, educate, and inspire. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, donate, and make everybody know about this.
Beats by RB Records, a proud sponsor of The Unfiltered by Jade.
Shopping Assistance Jamaica takes the stress away. Our services include online and local shopping in Jamaica for individuals and businesses, personal shopping, purchasing of company and office supplies, importing and exporting small packages across Jamaica and worldwide, helping you to find unique gifts and items for all events and occasions. Contact us at 876-919-5195. Shopping Assistance 2015 at gmail.com. Follow Shopping Assistance on Instagram at Shopping Assist JA, at Twitter at Shopping Assist 5, and Facebook at The Shopping Assistance. Shopping Assistance, your style, your budget. Welcome back to the Unfiltered by Jade. Today we're going to have a very interesting topic, and I have brought a couple of my friends here to have this discussion. So we're going to be speaking about what does a woman bring to the table. This discussion came about by a couple of people who have brought it to me to have that conversation with people to hear their feedbacks about it. And because it's a question that it's been recently that we have people asking women, so what do you bring to the table? And shockingly, what we have realized is that women sometimes don't really know what they bring to the table. So we're going to talk to these persons. So we have Oretta, we have Omar, and we have Denesha. And these are interesting persons that I know will give good insight on the topic. So we're going to jump into it. So guys, hi, and how are you doing?
I'm tired, but I'm good.
Mine too.
Wow.
I am okay. A little bit under the weather, but I'm okay.
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 Omar?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right, great. So the first question is asking a woman what she brings to the table. Is it a manipulative or a condescending question? When men ask her that, what do you think about it?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
I don't think it is condescending or manipulative. It is a genuine question that deserves a genuine and honest answer. It's the same way a female would meet a guy and ask him, what is it that you are bringing to the table? And he deserves to get a genuine and honest answer.
Agreed. Anyone else?
It's neither of the two for me. It's not condescending or manipulative. Um, we both need honesty, as Denesha said, and we need to know what each bring to the table so that we know what we're working with before we make the big jump into a relationship.
I don't believe that it's condescending or any of those things because like both ladies said before that it's a question of what am I getting into, and so as a result of that, now we need to figure out, okay, what do you have that I need, and what do I have that you need, and so we can have a compatibility, and then we work from there. So I think it's actually a healthy question for a relationship.
Okay, I'm not.
Agreed.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out then why is it that so many women feel offended by a man asking them? Because in my head, just like how we want the man and we want to know that we're gonna be with somebody and it's supposed to have stability and you're gonna provide such and such for us. I don't see personally anything wrong with a man saying, so what do you bring to the table? I mean, I hear women saying men that ask those questions are boys, and they should have asked that question because a woman is the table. She
Uh-huh.
is, yeah.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
I mean, the table to lay on. I mean, what
Wow.
Omar, behave
Wow.
yourself.
you know, what kind of table? What we
Wow.
talking about here?
You see, Jade, I believe that the only one of the many reasons why a woman would feel offended or feel attacked by a man asking that question is because she feels entitled.
Yes.
You
Mercy.
understand? Is, oh no, it's all about me. And already she's going into this relationship feeling that it's just all about her. So it's not what she has to offer, but it's what the man has to offer that will keep that relationship going.
Okay.
So in essence, basically a woman that can't answer that question has nothing to offer then.
It's a
Exactly.
possibility.
Because
Exactly.
I mean, there's an interview that I was watching before, and the woman said, men don't ask women those questions. And I think it's because it's not something that is normally asked. It's just something that, okay, well, you're a woman, you're supposed to be by my side,
Mhm.
and that's, you don't need to ask what I'm there for because I am it.
Mm,
From no,
mm,
basically,
mm, mm.
as the lady said to the man, I am it. So why are you asking what I need to bring to the table? You know,
Okay. Wow.
and it goes back to what Denisha said. Women feel entitled in relationships. That is why they feel a way about it. And but what is it that they feel entitled to? Is it that because you're with somebody, it means that they have to be doing these things for you?
I guess it's our culture, the Jamaican culture
Mm-hmm.
or the Western culture. To look at it wider. It's that we were grown to know that or to feel as if men are the sole providers in relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so getting into a relationship, because I was like that, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So getting into a relationship, I need to know what this guy has to offer. I wasn't necessarily looking on what I had to offer.
Okay.
Mm,
So I think culture and how we were brought up as females really has a lot to do with our thinking and how we approach relationship.
I agree.
Um
Can I jump in?
or
Um, I was one of those believers, but I left the church.
My God.
come back in.
I left that church
oh my
because
goodness.
honestly, um, from experience, um, relationships that I have been in, I was always the giver. I've always been the one to,
Mm,
go the extra mile to ensure that we're both good. So I didn't even question, the other partner. I just did what I had to do. And um, the end result of it, I got hurt. They left. And
Mm-hmm.
then I developed the mentality that, okay, the next person, the next partner that I will have, better know that I am all of that and
And a bag of
a
and a bag
whole
of chips.
a whole bag of chips.
That's
Crispy
right.
chips.
Very crisp. Talk to me, right?
Mm,
So but my marriage, however, opened my eye to something different.
Open it
My
wide.
yeah, my husband came with something different. He came with this is what I have, this is what I have to offer, and whatever I need to do or we need to do, because it moved from I to we, and he showed me
okay.
something different. So I, it's a two-way street with us. We decide what to be done, what you know it it just changed my old frame of mind of what I entered the marriage with.
Right.
So let me ask: was that a conversation that you guys had, or was it some expectations that led to that?
we
What
we had a
caused the
con
conversation?
we had a conversation.
Okay.
He initiated it though, because he realized that I was like, it's all about me, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to take care of me, and if you're
Hmm.
not ready for me, then I mean, don't take me up.
Mm.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
why some people still single.
Wow. Oh
Mercy.
wow.
It's true.
That's true.
Cause the poor man can't take care of you. I'm sorry, let me behave myself.
But it changed,
Wow.
what he came with, the conversation, it changed everything because I wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't think I've been asked that question until this marriage where my husband asked me, or fiance at the time asked, so what do you bring to the table? And I didn't know how to answer that because nobody has asked me that before. I
Mm-hmm.
I probably just thought that well, you're already seeing what
Mm-hmm.
I bring to the table.
Hmm.
Now I have to verbalize it and say it, and that's when I had to realize that, oh, the problem is verbalizing it to actually put it together, put a thought
Right.
together,
Mm-hmm.
because now I had to sit down and try to figure out what my value is really,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because it can be about sex because men can get sex anywhere.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
It can't be about, oh, I will take care of you and cook for you, because they can hire somebody to do that, or they can go and buy food somewhere. So
Right.
it has to be something else more in depth as to what you bring to the table. And I think a lot of women have a problem with that because they're already expecting to be with a man who has everything already. So they don't need to bring anything to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the ready-made package, that the idea is that, okay, this package is already there with all the bells and whistles. I don't think I need to do is come and fit into that package.
Yes.
So I don't need to do any work. Everything's already there and set. So,
Well,
I think the
mhm.
culture assumes that for real, Omar. Why we were taught that way, because the males were groomed in such a way to take care of the whole soul. I grew up with brothers. My mom trained them, hey, this is the way you treat a woman, this is what you need to do as the man of the house, and all of that. And so being trained or being cultured that way as a female, you kind of grow with that assumption. They were not necessarily saying that to you,
mhm.
but you grew with that assumption to say, hey, any man that I'm going to be with, he needs to be able to do X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
And the reality is that's not the truth.
Yes.
You need to bring things to the table as well. And which you rightly said, some of us as females, we can't really verbalize it. Look at the Jamaican culture. The mere girl, hot gal pan road. None know what she have to bring to the table.
Not a thing.
Girl.
Is that why they dress and in scantily clad
Exactly.
and those things?
Because
Because
what?
they thought
Sex
that
good.
their body is what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Right.
then silicone and them thing that come in now,
Wow.
and
We're going there.
Ouch. Ouch.
We're
I just
going there.
you know I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ouch.
I don't, I don't want nobody to call me a
Brother
misogynist,
Mark.
but
I think you're too late for that.
I don't want to be a misogynist. But I mean, the thing is that the reality of the fact is that from the vantage point, that from a male vantage point, is the fact that women are not taught to do anything but look good for a man. Because the thing is that a man is going to look a woman. That's the mentality, right? A man is going to look a woman. So the thing is that a woman can pick, choose, and refuse any man she wants. So the thing is that what is that now for her to work towards if she can do that by just being whatever?
Mm.
And so in order for them now to bring something to the table or even know what they bring to the table, they're just taught to look good. And what looks good to a man is, more breast showing, more butt, the bigger butts, are some men, not all men. But if you baseline manhood, that's what men look for. Men are visual like that. So now women now accentuate those assets, which is very pleasing to the woman. But if a man don't value those things in terms of someone have nice breasts or nice butt or whatever the case may be, because he's looking for like a long-term future, and you sit down and ask a woman, well, what do you bring to the table? You cannot tell the man that you bring a body, because then that doesn't have anything to do with raising children. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? If he's thinking
Mm-hmm.
about getting a house, you being able to cook, that doesn't may not resonate with him if he's a chef. So I think women need to evaluate exactly what do they bring to the table in terms of for that specific man, because a woman cannot bring cooking to the table for man X, but man Y may want cooking. So should a woman have a variety of different things that they bring to the table to present for the specific individual? You know,
She
I,
brings who she is.
the thing also with that is, and you said it, Omar, in terms of men, women know that men like certain things,
mhm,
and that is what they go for. They go to do. Women know a man likes to see a woman dress good, look good, whatever it is, and because they know that men see women how they look, it's by sight. Men are sight creatures.
right,
So they do things to appeal to the man by sight. Okay,
Hmm.
I know you like these things. So let me, and as I say, let me dress up for you so that this is what I bring to the table. Me looking good, or me having your child and still looking good. That's what I bring to the table, because really and truly in society these days, sometimes that's how you see men looking for women. It's now when it gets serious and a man wants to settle down, he now starts asking, so what can you bring to the table? Remember, before it was, oh, I want a sexy woman to be with. And
mhm,
she was that sexy woman.
okay,
Now, that sexy woman that you are with now has nothing else to offer but sexiness. And then now you're asking that same woman, what do you bring to the table when you're ready to settle down? She
right.
really has nothing more than what she knew before. And it's what she knew that you were looking for, or what her mom told her, or what she saw before, that she needs to look this particular way for a man to want her.
And the funny thing about that is that's why a lot of women can be with a man for years, and the man will never take her as a marriage partner. But then another woman comes along now, and he jumps on the bandwagon and marry that woman within no
Sadie.
time. Is
That is
because that
sad.
the woman that he's with never brought anything to the table, and never in their minds ever said, you know what, hey, do I bring anything to the table for you? And I think it's also a question. It's not for the man to also, it's for the man to ask, but it's also for the women to ask, hey, what do I bring to the table for you? Because if I'm sitting at the table and I'm not giving you what you want, then you can see the relationship is probably just dragging on, but it's not really going anywhere,
Yeah.
And so we have to take inventory, and men also need to ask women, hey,
Real talk, Omar.
yeah,
Real
what do I
talk.
need to bring what do I need to bring to the table for you? Because and Jade rightfully said that today I may want someone that looks sexy and whatever. Tomorrow I may need a mother. The next day I may need someone that's business minded. um so it may be an ongoing conversation. I've personally, until this conversation, I've always thought that it was something that's the beginning of a relationship, like what do you bring to the table. But now I'm reevaluating it, that it may be something that should be an ongoing type of conversation as we change and grow over time
And then goals are being accomplished as you grow in the
in
relationship.
the
So,
That's something else. In the discussion that I was watching, it was speaking about the disconnect with a job interview and a relationship, and it was comparing the two in terms of, for a woman who is complaining about, like, she don't know what she brings to the table, or she doesn't see why a man is asking her that, and for the other woman who say, well, what I bring to the table is the legacy of bringing kids into the world. No, God, people actually have said that before.
oh my.
Um, people have said it before. That's their legacy. Somebody else have said, they bring a PhD. Somebody says they bring a master's. And looking at it, they're like, if you go to a job interview as a woman and they ask, what are you bringing to the company? You can't tell them I'm bringing myself to the table. You can't say I'm bringing myself to the company. So why is it that we feel particular away when a man is asking, so what do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
We want to know if he can be able to take care of us. We want to know if um we will be safe with him, so security is there. You want
Right.
to know peace is there, mental stability, everything. We want to
Yeah.
ensure that this is the person that we rely on for everything, and he's going to provide it for us. I mean, so when it is that they now ask, okay, so what are you bringing to the table? You can't say, as someone said in a conversation the other day, someone said, well, I bring I speak life unto you.
Yes.
I am. I my even myself as a woman was trying to figure out what she means by she speak life unto you. What does that even
she's a
mean?
life giver.
So it's it's just how we really realize how women really don't know their value, and they really don't know their worth. the opposite is where these women want men that have these high salaries and whatever, but they don't want to work. They want to be stay home, and they want to live a
Mm-hmm.
luxurious life. Yet still, the only thing that they have to bring to the table is that they're young, and they can look good on your arm, basically.
And to be honest, you do have men out there who are like that. They are not necessarily looking for a woman to challenge them. They are not necessarily looking for a woman to empower them. They want someone to admire them, to wash their feet, and just to look pretty for them, because they have what they have already. And I know, well, I've met couples like that where the man is well off and he just wants a Barbie. Yeah, he just wants a Barbie, and she needs to know how to dress for the different occasions and all of that. And her thing is she's just enjoying the luxury of the life. Not that she's satisfied, but she's just enjoying the luxury.
That's a sad
Yeah.
life.
It is a sad life.
But the thing is that, while it's true, those are the same women that never feel loved
Yeah.
because, yeah, they never feel loved. And I think, and that's the thing where we have to be careful. Like, when they're younger and, money come and you have the fame and you with somebody that's rich and whatever, it looks good for a moment, but then you become this type of person that, okay, well, I can find somebody else and give them a bunch of money and they'll be on my arm just the same. So
Mm-hmm.
if you now come and try to put a voice in the relationship, they're gonna be like, well, who are you? Because I'm not with you to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
That's
I'm with you because you look good, so just stay in your lane and just
Uh-huh.
keep it
and
rolling.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-mm.
so if you don't bring anything, well,
That
the
cannot
thing is that if you
work.
don't bring anything to the table, that is what, or you don't know what you bring to the table, that is what you're going to get. And oftentimes, from this side of the fence is that you see a lot of women do these things and they want the dudes that have the flashy cars and the big money and those things,
Mm.
and then you see them pregnant without a man, and then you have this whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
they're angry against men and all these because they never actually inventoried themselves and say, what is my worth in any relationship,
Mm-hmm.
saying what is my standard of living that I'm going to baseline and say, okay, I'm not going to subject myself to anything but.
If a woman if a woman is working and she makes more salary, do you think she should contribute more to that marriage, to the bills, to whatever it is?
Yeah,
I think
You
so.
think so?
I think so. But I can hear a lot of women saying no, 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 no,
I
no.
hear it.
I
I
hear
hear
it.
it.
I hear a lot
Your
of
money.
women saying no, no, no. My money is my money. His money is my money.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yes, we should. We should.
I think a man, regardless of how much more money his woman makes than he does, I think he should still take care of his woman. Like, I think a man should give his wife, or not necessarily give his wife, but take his wife to pamper her, take his wife to do things, take his wife out, regardless of how much money she makes more than he. But I still think women should also contribute more to bills and those types of things if the woman makes more money than the man. Um,
Well, I can testify,
We can't
there we
bother,
go.
you
I
know.
can preach. Listen, let me tell you, marriage opened my eyes to so many things because I was like, before being married, I just walk around like a treasured doll. And I'm saying that any man who get goal. Plus,
Mm-hmm.
I have to, take care of me the way I need to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, foolishness.
Mm,
Jesus,
Foolishness.
please.
Initially in my marriage, I was the one making more money.
Right.
Right. So yeah, my husband had a little thing about that. But listen, it all came down to compromise and it came down to the reality that yes, I am the one who is in a better position financially. So
Mm-hmm.
I did what I had to do. And then the time came when he outran me financially,
Mm-hmm.
and he took over, and, he did the bills and all of that. But for me, in the marriage, I believe that it can be equal. Once it gets there, it can be equal, half and half. I don't have a problem with that. But if I have to be the one, and I'm speaking generally now, if I have to be the one who has to do the bills and whatever because I am more financially stable, then I have no problem with that. I can't speak for other
Yeah.
females because they're of the opinion that a woman shouldn't do this kind of things. And it goes back to what Denisha said earlier. It's the culture, or we were
Mm-hmm.
socialized, or the family dynamics, the structure, what you were taught.
I don't believe, Jade, that a lot of males can manage that. And
Nope.
I've seen this destroy a lot of relationships.
Oh yes.
And women cannot manage that either because, by right, we were not necessarily born to be leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So when we
Right.
get in that leadership position, it's like
Problems
head over
come.
heels problems, and we tend to lord it over the men, you know. So if a woman, I believe, if a woman is earning more, she can fit the bills and all of that, but a continuous conversation needs to be held regarding this. Um, this is the time I believe she needs to affirm her husband more or her partner more.
Yes.
This is the time she needs to encourage him more, let
Hmm.
him feel special, let him feel like still yet, even though I am doing this, you are still the head of the house. I
Right.
am just here, assisting you because this is my duty to do that. But a lot of females can't do that. And then know the men, because of how they were cultured,
Hmm.
they too are affected so much by, they feel less of a man.
Right.
Because I have had males had this conversation with me over and over. Hey, this is it. My girlfriend, she's earning more. I can't get to bring her to these fancy places as though I would really want her to do. And they talk about their challenges. And I
Yes.
can see how it really messes with their ego, or just messes with them as, they're
Mhm.
not man enough, so to speak. But Omar, how can you help a guy who is in a situation? I have had some of my young people come to me and say, Auntie Denisha, I am not going to go into this relationship because right now my job is hardly helping me to survive, much less to be with this girl who I really adore. She really adores me as well, but she's just earning more than me. I
Why is that
cannot.
such a big problem though?
It's the culture.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
culture for real.
so it's a big deal because men are taught to provide,
Right.
and once and men are hunters by nature. So the thing is that if I can't provide for you, another man will provide for you. So if I see a woman that I like, right, and I want to deal with her and everything, but I cannot afford her, right?
Hmm.
Even if she's interested in me and say, well, money doesn't matter. The fact that there's other men out there that even if she mingles with and they have more money than he does and those types of things, he's gonna feel some sort of way because he doesn't feel that he's of the quality or at the caliber that he needs
Hmm.
to be for this particular woman. Now, the other side of it is that um, women also, when they're in a position of power, tend to be more disrespectful,
Yes.
and so now the man becomes almost a boot to the woman, so that
Little
way,
boy.
yeah, little boy. So now she treats him a certain type of way that a man
Emasculated.
will immediately reject because of the nature of how men are. And so the fact that a woman makes more money than him automatically is going to put him in a position of now either he's going to be disrespected, or um, the person that he love find this the love that he finds in this woman is going to be short lived because another man is going to be able to easily take that from him via money. So that's why it's such a hard thing for men. And also, men are taught to be providers. So think about it, if in terms of a man chasing a woman, when the reverse situation occur now, I mean, I'm granted some of the men nowadays are lazy, so they want to be chased, but it's not natural for a man to be chased. It's natural for a man to do the chasing. So now this when it's reversed now, men cannot majority of men cannot handle that type of situation. Um, because it makes them feel less than a man. And it's not even an ego thing, it's just how men are built.
But I don't even know about that anymore because I don't know if
Mhm.
it's where I am, but I'm seeing too many men wanting to stay home now and the women work. So
Yeah, but
Eh,
but staying home does not necessarily mean that the man is not still being a man, because the thing
no,
is
no,
that
no. I never. No, in terms of when I'm saying it's not that I'm saying he's not still a man. It's just in terms of because you're saying, oh, the men want to work and they want to be the providers, but it's somehow changing because a lot
mm,
of men know want to stay home. There's a lot of men know who want their girlfriends or their wives to take care of them.
That's the truth. That's the truth, Jade.
It
I
is
Um,
true.
I agree with you, but I reserve my
like the words coming in and I shut in my mouth.
I'll
Mm.
reserve. No, it's
it's
I
true.
Mm.
it is a reality, and but the thing is that women have fought for that power. And I remember watching a show the other day, and a lady was saying that her man is this, her man is that, and another lady said to her, "Why don't you step back and be a woman and let the man naturally take his position?" So you know, the women have fought for position of power, and now that it's there, it's freely available.
I don't think that's the
Mm.
Um,
kind of power that they wanted, though.
yeah, but you can't control what you fight for. You see what I'm saying? Women want to be leaders. They do. They want to be the one that control the money. They want to be the control the house.
Do we
And
really, Omar?
No,
No,
No, I
well, it
don't
sir.
think so.
I
I
well
no.
it
don't
don't think
think
is.
so.
so.
So it is, because then it
Mm,
wouldn't say that a
mm,
man just wants to stay home, because I think men, and I know men are getting tired of fighting a woman in those particular regards. And some men is okay with it, with his wife going out and being the one that make the money and being the one that thing, because even as Denesha said, when she comes home, he's still the man of the house. So he reserved the property of the manhood of the relationship, even though he's not financially the one
mm.
that's bringing in the money.
I don't know. I don't know. There's a story where a woman said, she and the person dated for 5 years. They have no kids together. He has no job. She
Mm.
has two job, right? And she wanted him to get. She wanted them to get married. And she said she told him. He went on a bended knee, held her hand, and said, "Well, I need a more successful woman by my side.
Huh.
I'm not built
What
for
list, man?
poverty."
What list, man?
So
Huh.
I'm saying,
You
You
can't
want
use
a
that as
slap with a Dutch pot.
so I'm saying that woman sat with the man. She sat with him, not working while she was working two jobs and taking care of him.
She
At that time,
patient.
no. At
no,
that
no, no,
time,
no.
no.
Mhm.
She no wants the role to be reversed where he no proposes to her to marry her. But she did work the third job and take care of him. Because at this point, he's gonna say, "Well, I can find another woman to take care of it." Because in reality, these days, women are taking care of the men. It's so funny how I'm
Yep.
seeing so many men saying, "Well, they prefer a woman propose to them now than they're proposing," because that's how it's going these days. I think when women say, we want woman power, I think they just want a little bit more respect.
Hmm.
But I think sometimes, I mean, sometimes women go the extra mile with it. But I think sometimes men are taking also, men are now saying, well, if you want to be the man, well, I'm going to stay home and everything. You take care of me. There's also something online where a man was telling his woman, hey, every month I need 500 whatever to be buying stuff or to take care of stuff. And the women now are providing it because that's what women are doing. So no, it's reversed because women's
Gender
role,
roles
the gender roles is
are
reversed.
changing. Yeah.
Men don't care to work. How many times have you seen? I've seen too many times driving in
I'm
car, and
seeing
it's
it.
so strange. And most of the time, it's a woman driving, and the man is cooking up his food somewhere, or
Hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
woman comes out of the vehicle, she goes and carry the groceries to the car while he sits down in. That's what it's happening now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is true. I mean, I've been in gas stations and you see the man sitting in the car while the woman is out pumping gas.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you really wonder where society is going as a whole, because these things, let's say about 20, 30 years ago, you would never seen these things,
Yeah.
unless the man was handicapped or he might have something wrong with him. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that from for perspective, what I'm seeing is the fact that if a woman allow a man to stay home for X amount of time, if he's not taking care of children or contributing in a meaningful way to the relationship from a household perspective, then the woman need to let that man know that, listen, okay, well, if you want to do that, that's fine, but you have to do it with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So now what you're seeing is really the gender roles are reversed, because no, a man would normally tell a woman, say, yo, if you're not doing nothing, yo, you have to go leave. Now you're seeing a woman now accepting the fact, because women are more patient over the course of a relationship than a man. So now you're seeing a woman just taking it, and then the man still has the decision making thing to say, yo, listen, if you not provide for me, yo, I'm have to cut, because the thing is that men are gonna be men. Men are hunters. So if a man is being hunted, he don't have to do any work. Him just sit there. And the funny thing is that thinking about it, it's the same reason that some women don't know what they bring to the table,
And that's
because
what I was just about to say.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
very same reason. If you're being hunted to the point where you don't have to do anything, then you don't have to bring anything to the table. So
Is it
It
the
yeah,
is.
possibility that there are like lesser men out there now, so why women have become hunters? Most of them in prison
I'm
or
trying to
something.
or something. Why is it that I'm trying to figure out if
it's a
that's
mix.
why, or it's because women are now asking for more rights. You see woman driving truck, you see whatever. So now a man is saying, I think, let me tell you, looking at this, I'm thinking why a woman probably has a problem with it is because she thinks the man is expecting her to know take care of him, give him money, do whatever. I'm wondering if that's also why women have a problem, or it's because before or a long time ago, a woman wouldn't necessarily have to say, "Well, I'm bringing this to the table." She's supposed she takes care of the house. She makes sure he's okay. But these days, women don't necessarily, if they want to stay home, they don't necessarily want to do anything when they're home. They want to stay at home and they also want to get a helper.
I think it's a mix of men abused women. Um, Men abuse women because they know that women are not necessarily going to go out. Um, I think that occurred, and women got fed up and said, "I want to sit at the table." And when women want to sit at the table, men are saying, "Okay, well, so if you want to sit at the table with a man, then you, in essence, become a man, and so you take on those properties." So, you know, it's if men didn't abuse women and do what they were supposed to do, then would women want to sit at the table, or would they be happy? Well,
Well, why weren't we at the table in the first place?
I think I think if you look at, I mean, we would have to go back from way back in the days, even in biblical times, when women had a seat at the table, but it wasn't, women took care of the house and the farm or whatever they had at that point, and men go out and hunt. It was not expected for a woman to go out and hunt, right? Because that's not a woman's role, at least in that sense of life then. Um, but now it's different, right? We're not going out and hunting anymore. We're going out and working. So the same thing happened, like, if a man can go out and work, why can't I go out and work as well? And so you see the divergence of, no, okay, I want to sit at the table because I also want to make decisions for my own self. um and so women now come and want to work. There's nothing wrong with it, but I think the problem that comes in, and you see it all the time, is that now a man would have to treat a woman like a man. In essence, it's not a sexist type of thing. It's just how I view you now is of equal to like how I view a man. So
Okay.
and we've seen it. There's a show that this famous pastor, she's a female pastor, and when she goes home, she wants to treat the man like he's a subordinate to her, and she has nothing but relationship problems because of that. Because women have power and women gravitate to power, but in dealing with power, she wielded it out to everybody underneath her, right? Because she has ultimate power at that point. Um, you know,
And
it's a,
and and that is why, Omar, I was saying that as females, we have to know our roles,
mhm.
even when it is not just in the home, but even in organization or workplaces. even if we're in a managerial position. And they are just certain principles that go across the board. Being respectful, being well mannered, and all of that. So it doesn't matter where you go, those type of thing will follow you, and it will help you not to demasculate men as
Yes.
well. So we just have to be careful.
Yeah. We
But
do.
should women be careful because they don't know what they bring to the table, and so by doing so they could be demasculating a man?
Because she can know her worth and her value.
Okay.
She's not in a relationship just because she's a woman, and women need to be in a relationship, or women want to be in a relationship. She's not in a relationship just because she can have kids. She's not in a relationship just so she can cook and clean and wash
Hmm.
clothes. She's in there because she can help you to build an empire. She's in
Con-
there because she can be there to support you.
That's
um
right.
she's in
mhm.
there because she can help to balance things with
Mm-hmm.
business, with
Right.
family, with life. She
Yes,
gives
sir.
good advice. She's there to give comfort when things are happening. She's there also because behind you and behind whatever it is, the home, the buying of the home, she helps with buying the home.
Right.
Partnership is important now in a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
um
Right.
the availability of having someone that you can be so in tuned with, that they can build something together. And that's why I said at the beginning, a lot of people don't want to build from scratch anymore. They want it
Exactly.
already made.
Ready made.
Mm-hmm.
You see, what Jay just says is a big Christmas package. It's a big, listen, no, it's good. It is a big Christmas package. And to be honest, some of us as females, we have all of that, and we do have the potential to become all of that as well. But Omar said something at the beginning of the conversation where some men are looking for some of those things. So I am no, when you spoke about even the whole thing of pregnancy, no, not pregnancy, the whole thing of having children.
Mm-hmm.
I have met a guy before, and the guy said, "Listen, I want babies," and I'm
Oh
speaking in the
God.
accent. I want babies.
Mandingo.
I said, Denesha, I want babies.
That's on the African.
Oh, man,
African.
serious about him thing.
And I'm like, I know, wanted to bring something else to the table because I wasn't thinking about babies. No. And so what I had to offer was not what he wanted on his table. And so I had to take my self-worth, my own thing of empowering you, affirming you, and all of that to another table
That's
because
right.
he wanted babies. And hold on, no? And it's not just 2 babies, but
Okay.
he wanted 10 babies.
Ew.
And I'm like, me, for my little
Hey.
body, 10 babies? No. No. You understand? I wasn't having it. I wasn't having no babies. 10 babies. No.
Richard Solomon.
I couldn't. That table was not for
Not
me
for you.
at
Not for you.
all. At all. So go back to what Omar says. It does vary from people to people. What is it that they are looking for in a partner? And yeah, and to be honest, some people are just simple as ever. They just want companionship, and that's all.
Yeah.
They don't want anything else but companionship.
Can you imagine if somebody want companionship and then they're with someone who don't know how to have a conversation?
Ooh.
Girl.
Hey,
Change table.
Yes.
so it's important to have these conversations before
Yes.
we decide to make any big hula baloo and go get married to somebody or settle down, or even before we even enter a relationship. It's so important to have this discussion. What do you want out of this relationship? The last question is, should our worth or value as a woman weigh as much as a man's?
I'm not a woman, but I'll say yes. I don't-
Yes, sir.
but I didn't want to just answer and say yes. I did, so wait there. um, yeah, I think what we bring to the table is not equal to our worth. I think our worth and values should be high because no one is beneath anyone. However, there are wants and needs that need to be covered in terms of what we bring to the table. I just come to the table because I'm a woman. Um, I think when a woman does that, she's diminishing
A
her own
value.
value.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think that both men and women value should be the same. Their worth should be the same.
Right,
However,
equal.
equal. Whatever you bring though, with that is what you bring to the table to make it different. Because, you know, you know, you, there's how much billions of women on the planet. So which one are you? What do you bring that none of the other ones bring that fits like a glove with me?
Yep. But then, if it is that we're saying it should be equal, it means then that when women say, "Well, the marriage is equal," so there's no head. We're both the head of this relationship. We're both the head of this household. Because if it is that we're bringing something and we're 50-50 on what we're bringing, then both of us are the head. Then that's where women will get the notion to say, "Well, we both run it. There's no head of the household. Both of us are the head of the household."
Well, the head of the household is in terms of final decision, like, okay, strategic directions. It's not the man. The man is the one to say the final say, or should be, based on, I guess, traditional thinking, but it doesn't diminish the value of the woman. The woman can have input, and this is what I alluded to earlier when I said that, back in the days, women were pretty much told this is what was going to happen, but women are saying, no, I want to
Right.
sit at the table. I want to be part of the conversation. I want to be part of the decision making process.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have a situation now where um, husband and wives are making decisions together in terms of long-term strategic goals and those types of things. Those things are very important, so it doesn't diminish the role of the man as being the head of the household,
Household.
um, but it doesn't also take away the fact that a woman can also have a seat at the table and have those conversations as well. They're not the same.
I remember back in Jamaica when I was doing like community projects.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't have expertise in certain areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I would have invited, you know, someone who has a financial understanding to a meeting. I will
Mm-hmm.
invite someone else who, is good in the creative arts, someone else who is good at culinary arts, and I would invite them to the meeting because the project is gonna include, need the knowledge of those different departments for it to run good or
Yes.
to run properly. And so I value so much their input because it would have helped me to steer the project, to allow it to be more beneficial to the end.
Right.
Now, having invited them to the table for their expertise doesn't mean that they're the one running the show. I am the head of the project. I am the one running the project.
Mm-hmm.
But then I value their input so much because of their area of study and of their experience. So
Okay.
that's how I would answer that question.
Okay.
So agreeing with Omar, it doesn't diminishes a woman's worth, um, or anything like that.
Listen, I agree with Omar, I
Mm-hmm.
have been listening to him and him blow my mind. It's really good to have a male verbalizing, in a conversation like this.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I believe it's my belief that the man or men should
Mm-hmm.
be the head of the relationship.
Right.
Given that, as a woman, it should be equal across the board. Yeah, men should have the final say. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just tradition. It's just biblical. Everybody deserves to be treated the same amount of respect, and
It was great talking about it. It was great talking to you guys about it. I know there was great insight, and I'm hoping that our listeners will also enjoy the conversation that we've had. So thank you so much. And we'll definitely be back next week, Tuesday, on the Unfiltered by Jade. Thank you.
Bam bam bide, bam bam bide, badu bidi bam bam bide.